Your entire reality is just a dream, and you didn't even choose it. From the moment you were born, society began programming your mind. They call it education, but it's actually domestication. Just like training a dog with rewards and punishment. Good boy when you follow the rules, bad boy when you don't. Soon you learned to fear punishment and crave approval. You started pretending to be someone else just to fit in. Your language, beliefs, religion, even your name. None of it was your choice. These became agreements stored in your mind like a book of law. Now you have an inner judge constantly criticizing everything you do, and a victim inside carrying all the guilt and shame. Here's the crazy part. You punish yourself for the same mistake thousands of times. Animals make a mistake once and move on. Humans replay it forever. We created an image of perfection we'll never reach. Then we reject ourselves for not being perfect enough. The limit of how much you abuse yourself is exactly how much you'll tolerate from others. We're searching for truth, justice, and beauty outside ourselves. But we can't see it because our mind is fogged with false beliefs. 95% of what you believe is a lie. We're literally living in hell, a place ruled by fear, punishment, and suffering. Your biggest fear isn't death. It's being authentically yourself, because you're terrified of not being good enough for others. But here's the truth. You were born with personal power. Every day you waste that power maintaining agreements that don't serve you. Agreements that came from fear, not love. The dream of the planet convinced you that you're powerless. But you can break these agreements and reclaim your energy. When you break an agreement, all the power you use to create it returns. You don't need to live in this nightmare anymore. It's possible to create your own dream, one based on love, not fear. The question is, are you ready to wake up? Are you ready to stop being a copy of everyone else's beliefs? Your authentic self is waiting for you to remember who you really are. The prison door was never locked. You just believed it was. Your words are literally magic spells, and most people are casting curses without knowing it. This is the first agreement. Be impeccable with your word. Your word isn't just sound, it's pure creative power. The same force that creates can also destroy everything around you. Think about it. One person's words in Germany led an entire nation into war. Every day, we cast spells on each other with our opinions and judgments. When someone says, "You're not good enough," and you believe it, that's black magic. When you tell yourself, "I'm stupid" or "I'm ugly," you're cursing yourself. But here's the game changer. Impeccable means without sin. And sin isn't religious. It's anything you do against yourself. Self-rejection is the biggest sin you can commit. Being impeccable with your word means never using it against yourself. If you insult someone, they'll hate you, so you're actually hurting yourself. If you love someone with your words, they'll love you back. Most of us learn to lie and gossip as our normal way of communicating. Gossip is like a computer virus. It spreads poison and corrupts everything it touches. We've been infected with thousands of these mental viruses since childhood. But you can break any spell with one thing: truth. When you become impeccable with your word, negative spells can't touch you. Your mind becomes fertile ground for love instead of fear. Start by changing how you talk to yourself. Instead of "I'm not good enough," try "I am wonderful." Use your words to build yourself up, not tear yourself down. The quality of your words directly reflects how much you love yourself. This one agreement can literally change your entire life. You can live in heaven while surrounded by people living in hell. Because when your words are impeccable, you become immune to negativity. Your words create your reality, so choose them wisely. Be impeccable with your word and watch your world transform. The magic was always in your mouth. Now you know how to use it. Your emotional pain isn't about them. It's about you. The second agreement that will change your life: don't take anything personally. When someone calls you stupid, ugly, or worthless, they're not describing you. They're revealing their own internal programming and beliefs. You only get hurt when you agree with what they're saying. Think about it. If someone said you were a purple elephant, would you be offended? No, because you don't believe you're a purple elephant. But when they attack something you're insecure about, suddenly it stings. That's because part of you agrees with their poison. Here's the truth. Everyone lives in their own reality, their own dream. What they say about you is actually about them. Their opinions come from their past programming, their fears, their insecurities. When you take it personally, you're eating their emotional garbage. You're letting their internal chaos become your chaos. But here's your superpower. You can choose not to take it personally. Even compliments aren't really about you. Don't get addicted to external validation. The person praising you today might criticize you tomorrow. Your worth doesn't change based on other people's opinions. When you stop taking things personally, something magical happens. Your anger disappears. Your jealousy vanishes. Your sadness fades. You become immune to emotional manipulation. People can gossip, lie, or even betray you, and you remain unaffected because you understand they're dealing with themselves, not you. You're just the screen they're projecting their movie onto. This doesn't mean you become cold or heartless. It means you become free. Free to love without fear of rejection. Free to speak your truth without needing approval. Free to say no without guilt. Free to walk away from toxic people without taking their behavior personally. Remember, you're only responsible for your actions, not theirs. Stop trying to control how others see you. Start focusing on how you see yourself. When you master this agreement, you can walk through hell with inner peace. Nothing can touch you because you know who you are. Don't take anything personally and watch your life transform. Your mind is a story factory that never stops creating fiction. The third agreement from ancient Toltec wisdom: don't make assumptions. Every day, we create elaborate stories about what people think, feel, or mean. We convince ourselves these stories are absolute truth. Then we react emotionally to our own fictional narratives. This creates unnecessary drama, conflict, and suffering in our lives. We assume our partners can read our minds. We assume people think exactly like we do. We assume we know what others' actions mean. But assumptions are just mental shortcuts that lead to emotional poison. When we make assumptions, we stop communicating clearly. We start gossiping about our interpretations instead of seeking truth. We defend our assumptions like they're facts, even when they're wrong. The human mind needs to explain everything to feel safe. So we create answers even when we don't have real information. We'd rather believe a comfortable lie than ask an uncomfortable question. This happens because we're afraid to be vulnerable. We're scared to ask questions that might reveal difficult truths. But assumptions destroy relationships faster than honest communication. They create wars between people who could otherwise understand each other. The antidote is simple but not easy. Ask questions. Have the courage to seek clarity instead of creating stories. Make your communication crystal clear and assumption-free. Ask for what you want directly instead of hoping people will guess. When you don't understand something, admit it and ask. Everyone has the right to say yes or no to your requests, but you always have the right to ask. The moment you stop making assumptions, your relationships transform. Your communication becomes clean, clear, and free of emotional toxins. Conflicts based on misunderstandings disappear. You start dealing with reality instead of your mental fiction. This single change can eliminate most human relationship problems. Clear communication without assumptions creates impeccable words. Your speech becomes a tool for creation instead of destruction. Breaking this habit takes practice and conscious awareness, but mastering this agreement transforms you from someone who spreads confusion into someone who creates clarity, understanding, and genuine connection. Stop being the author of unnecessary drama. Start being the architect of authentic relationships. Your best today isn't your best tomorrow, and that's perfectly okay. The fourth agreement is simple. Always do your best. But here's the twist. Your best changes constantly. When you're energized in the morning, your best is different than when you're exhausted at night. Your best when healthy is different from when you're sick. Your best evolves as you grow and build better habits. The key is never doing more or less than your current best. Try too hard, you'll burn out and actually achieve less. Do less than your best? Hello, guilt, frustration, and regrets. When you always do your best, you eliminate self-judgment completely. You can't beat yourself up when you know you gave everything you had. Most people work for rewards, the paycheck, the recognition, the approval. But when you do your best for the love of the action itself, everything changes. You stop resisting work and start enjoying the process. Action becomes alive, vibrant, fulfilling. Doing your best isn't about perfection, it's about showing up fully. It's about taking action instead of staying stuck in inaction. Every moment you're not expressing yourself is a moment you're denying life. Your existence alone proves you have the right to be here. You have the right to be happy, to love, to share your gifts. When you do your best consistently, you become a master of transformation. The first three agreements only work when powered by this fourth one. You won't always be perfect with your words. You'll still take things personally sometimes. You'll make assumptions. But if you're doing your best, that's enough. Practice makes progress, not perfection. Every time you fall, stand up and start again. Don't judge yourself, just recommit. Today I will do my best with my words. Not take things personally, avoid assumptions, and give my all. Tomorrow, make the same commitment again. Your best effort transforms hell into heaven. It turns your life into a beautiful dream. The knowledge is here waiting for you to use it. Start today. Do your best and watch your world transform. You've been living someone else's dream your entire life. Think about it. As a child, you were completely free. You expressed yourself without fear, loved without conditions, and lived fully in the present moment. But then society domesticated you. Your parents, teachers, and culture programmed you with beliefs that aren't even yours. They installed a judge in your mind that constantly criticizes you. They created a victim that makes you suffer unnecessarily. This programming is like a parasite feeding off your fear and negative emotions. It controls your thoughts, your actions, and your entire reality. But here's the truth. You can break free. The Toltec warriors understood this thousands of years ago. They knew that awareness is the first step to freedom. You must realize that most of your beliefs are based on lies. The drama you've suffered through, it was all for nothing. Your life is literally a dream, and you can change it anytime. There are 3 paths to freedom. First, face your fears one by one until you conquer them all. Second, stop feeding the parasite by controlling your emotions. Third, undergo a symbolic death where your old self dies completely. The goal is to master 3 things: awareness of who you really are, transformation, breaking free from mental domestication, and intent, which is pure love itself. Imagine living without fear of judgment. Picture yourself expressing your true feelings without shame. Envision a life where you don't need anyone's approval. This isn't fantasy. It's completely possible. You can create heaven on earth right now. Stop carrying the burden of your past. Forgive everyone who hurt you, not for them but for yourself. Choose love over fear in every moment. Remember, you are not your thoughts. You are not your beliefs. You are pure consciousness having a human experience. The real you is still that wild, free child inside. It's time to let that child out and reclaim your freedom. Your personal dream can become a masterpiece. The only question is, will you choose to wake up?